The Droichead Project promotes inclusivity and diversity through a programme of arts, culture and language events and classes. We offer access to the Irish language to a diversity of communities and non-traditional learners, particularly those within the broadly unionist communities. Cluny Hall is a Methodist mission. It's based in the Waterside and we have 2 classes there every Tuesday.
Derry being Derry, you know, you have the waterside, the city side and so on, and sometimes you be mindful of location. But Cluny is always seen as a neutral space and has always been supported by the whole community. So the project fitted in quite easily and became quite successful quite quickly.
If you've got no experience of Irish, or it's not been part of your family or part of your traditional heritage or experience, it can be quite intimidating coming to a place that is Lífa, you know, where people are speaking Irish fluently.
So the venues in the Waterside where we have classes are really important. They provide an accessible space for people who might be nervous about coming to the Cultúrlann building. So it has helped bridge that gap, I suppose, between being nervous about coming to feeling totally welcome and totally at ease about coming into this space. The teachers, Bernie and Alan, were both really up for the challenge. We approached them and explained that we wanted to start classes in the Waterside and explained maybe the nature of the classes, that they were outreach. So I had just started working in Cultúrlann when Alan started teaching a class in the Waterside. So Alan was my first teacher.
AIM, shocking then is 7 days. So most of the answer you find
at the start, whenever so right, you're going over to the Waterside to teach. I said, so one of the things you have to ask is Carabas too. You have to say is as Londonderry or as Durham. This was in my mind, this was a worry for me. It shouldn't have been a worry, but it's part of our who and what we are. And the difference with the 2 religions and all the political stuff that goes around. I've never really seen it as that, because as far as I'm concerned, if you're here to learn Irish, I'm 200% behind you, or in front of you, or beside you, whatever you need to be.
That's absolutely irregular, so that's one of the ones you just have to learn. You could never work out.
Bernie, she will do things that are seasonal, so she will look for the cultural words that relate to any kind of cultural event that's taking place at the time, and she'll find the Irish for it and give it to the class.
One of the things is we tend to have like the Sagart and you know, Chack Fubble and all that, where Protestant terminology might be a bit different. So we did use era once, which means like a pastor, just to make it relevant for the people that are in it. You know, Irish is for everybody. It's of this place, where they came here 10 minutes ago, 10 years ago, 10,000 years ago. It doesn't matter. We have to open it for everybody.
It's Michelle Linda. I'm a retired pharmacist and I've been learning Irish now for over 2 years.
Is Michelle Gardy, Fulham Gaelic or Skull, Tammy Golden, Irish.
Really, with the upbringing that I have had, I always thought that Irish wasn't really for me. But when I saw that the course was in the Waterside, which is it's somewhere that I know, so I was happy to come along and give it a go. And I think Gertie was a bit surprised, you know, because I would have had absolutely no background in Irish at all.
We're from opposite sides of the community. And in the school that I went to, it was taught, and of course in her school it wasn't taught, so it did take me by surprise, very happy surprise. But from there we started meeting once a week. We laugh a lot, we enjoy it a lot, and we learn a lot.
We talk about the history of the language, folklore, we talk about a lot of things that relate to the people of the land, and when people see it like that, it becomes more than just a language. It becomes something that resonates with them and that they can relate to.
Is Misha Dahi? I'm a retired Presbyterian clergyman, and it intrigued me that when I look back into the past, my own tradition were speaking this language, and that's wonderful. That's overlooked, that's forgotten, that's ignored. Some of the places where we live are illuminated through what we do within Irish classes.
Is as Dromore County and Dun May Tammy Mahoney in Mira.
I live at Prehen, Prian I think it is in Irish, which means the crow. I grew up in Dromore. Dromore means the big ridge. And there is a big ridge in Dromore, and many a time I was there as a wee fella, never thought of the Irish connections that were associated with that little town in County Down. So all of these different strands are at work, and that creates interest and produces excitement.
So every Friday there's a group of us that meet in the waterside and we speak Irish. Some of the people who attend are actually learners from Cultúrlann and are much more fluent than the beginners who are in Clooney Hall in the waterside. So what that has created is familiar faces, I suppose, amongst that language community. So now our learners from the waterside might meet someone in the street and be like, oh, Gearrich, Kajay Martatu, and it's people that they've met through the Cora. It also means that when they come here to Cultúrlann, they see familiar faces, they see friends that they've met, and the space just becomes a bit more welcoming.
When I went to the first Cora, I was completely dumb. I could not get anything into my head, could get no words, and it took me about 3 different sessions, and all of a sudden I was speaking. And unlike what you might expect, those with a lot of the language are really patient and persistent as well. I mean, they will make sure that you do talk, but never in a sort of judgmental way. I feel utterly encouraged to speak.
Janan should Iraq, the Codge Gaelic, a Clactus, the Kirkle Cora, and we have a bit of crack. You know, we're always laughing.
They have set up a WhatsApp group, and every morning there's like 5 or 6 messages, all as Gaeilge, you know, every day, and they've only been learning for about 7 or 8 months, and they're writing completely in Irish, and Alan's responding, and he's encouraging them that way.
I says, Tishy, we can't go in. He says, I'm talking about another happy, right? I wake up in the morning, only takes 10 seconds, right? Imagine why could Timmer tattoo, and then I'd be going to class, my phone's beep, 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 you know, going, and I'll hear it, Tammy go my, Tammy go, cup and coffee, and they're at it constantly, you know, and I thought they were doing really well, and I was really, I am, and I still am, really proud of them.
Little Irish phrases, what are you doing today? How are you? What's the weather like? Are you coming to the class tonight? And each of us, we're struggling, but we're determined to do it. It maybe takes us half an hour to get a wee paragraph together, but we're sending back sentences in Irish.
I had to learn how to get a fada on the phone, and it's amazing how much you learn even on the texting.
That's a complete pleasure and a labour of love to teach the group that I've got at the moment in the Clooney Hall. They're going to be fluent, you know, in absolutely no time, you know.
Barwai lum rather than the hee-ha, ta ocrasorum.
I suppose going into Cultúrlann, I now find it's a place where I like to go into because it's an opportunity to order what I want by using the Irish language. I'm meeting neighbours from that have a different culture, have maybe a different creed or no creed. That doesn't matter. It's not about the labels that are attached to ourselves. It's about the journey we're each on. Watch this space.
Get in touch with the Droichead Project. We're very accessible and we have lots and lots of opportunities through family events, through exhibitions, through trips and through classes. If you really want to give it a go and dip your toe in, then the opportunity is there.
Definitely give it a go, even for a 10-week course or a weekend, and just try it. You just might surprise yourself and enjoy it.
So many people waste so much time by wanting and thinking, well, I want that. Give Catherine or Lisa a ring. They'll set you up in the right place, and once you're started, you'll not want to stop.
Irish language is a language for everyone. You're never too old to learn something new.
The things we learn,
The things we cover,
are more than Irish.
it's way, way more than Irish. And the people in the class with us as well, they're absolutely lovely.
There's something beautiful about what we're doing together. There's nothing that belongs to one group and can't be taken up by another group. It's something we can do together. And if we do, the more stuff we do together, then I think the better we'll equip ourselves to live better together and make this city and this wee country the best that it can be for everyone.
One trail